What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to HD's burner account. Don't you know I love haters? Hit that like button, hit that like button. If you're new here, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to select all so you can get upcoming notifications. Share this to all your platforms while you're at it. If you just want to, if you don't want to use the Cash App, go to Welcome to HDiiTV and do a super thanks on any video and hype up a video while you're over there, and then just put down HD's burner account showing love. Also, you can sign up to the Patreon. Patreon's booming right now. We're trying to get more people. I might be coming up with a membership on the HDiiTV, the Welcome to HDiiTV page. Trying to see where I'm gonna start a price at, you know. So, Alex Cross, season 2. Season 2. You know, if you remember, in season 1, we left off at him figuring out what happened to his wife, how she passed on. It was very sad what happened. It was basically revenge for her for, of course, her adopted daughter. Her adopted daughter and son were basically like together, and she unalived herself. She unalived herself because of the pressures of the case. Plus, she didn't want him to go to jail. You feel me? She did not want him to go to jail at all. So in season 2, we have, of course, him trying to get back with the young beautiful black woman from the beginning. And that's basically like, you know, they were meant to be together. But this season, it kind of started off in a different place. They of course had relations, and then she basically wanted to break it off because he lied. She didn't want to go through that again. That scenario practically spooked her, and it would spook any woman. It would spook any guy if it was the shoe on the other foot. So I love the writing and the pacing of it. Black women, this is to you all. Okay, I love my black queens. I love y'all. Y'all have got to stop tearing down. Y'all have got to stop tearing down black men who choose to be with the snow bunny. Okay, y'all got to stop that. Because when y'all get with the with the glow stick, we don't say nothing. When y'all get with y'all little vanilla swirl, y'all don't say nothing. And plus, if you were here for season 1, they were throwing hints out there that they were gonna smash. And in this season, it confirmed it when they smashed that he was supposed to be with her before he got with his wife. He was supposed to be with her, but as we saw at the end, that she chose the career. And of course, you saw, you know, her going to go press the ex-girlfriend, which probably gonna be the girlfriend next season. We don't know yet, because she done flip-flop. So she saw through that white girl BS. That white girl thought by using her power, threatening this and that, she was gonna turn, and nah. And she tried to use the, oh, he loves you and all that, like every white girl does. But he was trying to do something with her, and she wasn't going for it because she's too much into her career. She wants to be on top. She's one of those type of women. She's opportunistic. She don't care about all that, start a family, do all. She ain't into that. Her life is her job. You see, she released that crazy dude who, by the way, that black dude is great. He's great for the show. I hope he come back for season 3. He was funny as hell, especially when he was poking dude's mom, and he set that dude straight as soon as he came in the house. It's gonna be some things changed around here. You know, your mom up there is pretty good. You know, she likes me. You know, she loves me, you know. So I'm going to be here for a while, so I need you to do that. Get that done. And then he switches it to that evil side. I love that. He got range. I could tell he can act. Because he showed you his range. So this season showed Cross at wits with a woman who lost everything. And was trying to bring down a corrupt system who was basically using a lot of illegal immigrants to get jobs done. And they had some that were legal, but they mostly were using illegal immigrants. And of course, shout out to Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard did a hell of a job playing, he basically was the antagonist, but at the same time, they had to protect him. He was the typical billionaire, where all they see is trying to change the world. No, trying to fill your pockets up. Billionaires love wanting to change the world at the expense of life. They get their rocks off on that. So of course you had the girl. She was basically seen as the chosen one to bring down the company that Matthew Lillard was running. And then of course, you know, you had Cross on it. He was under the white girl. Then all of a sudden he became head of it. The white girl didn't like it, but at the same time she had her own BS to deal with, where she was set up when interrogating these police, or I mean not police, these military people. And then in one of the videos, the military guy just unalived himself right there like craziness. Like some Manchurian Candidate crap. But it was good. It was a good side mission. Good side mission. And of course, you know, at the end, you know, Aldous Hodge shot out a.k.a. Alex Cross, who I still think should be Black Panther. And he talked about it on one of these shows. He said that he wants to be the Black Panther. And I think that's the guy you choose to be the Black Panther. Like, he got the range, and he to me could be a better Black Panther than Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick was great at what he did, but he really wasn't the Black Panther. If you look at the Black Panther in the comics, he wasn't docile. He wasn't real laid back. He was very militant. He was very intelligent. Suri was the warmonger of the two. They, you know, I know they had Letitia Wright as Suri, but I wanted her to be more militant, more I'm going to take you out. But that, to me, he ought to be the Black Panther, the guy who ought to be it and everything. So, but he did a great job. He matched wits. At the end, you had your little chase, your high-speed chase, because he was trying to bring the system down, which he got to one of the representatives over the bill that Matthew Lillard and his people were trying to put out there. Now, the woman playing the bad guy, I can't think of her name, she did a hell of a job. She did a great job. She was carrying out the missions, but we found out it was a plot twist. Her auntie basically was the reason why her mother was unalive. And then she tried to use herself as a shield to, you know, to have the girl run, but the girl wasn't finna run. She was like, no, I'm done. I'm tired. She lost the only family she really had outside of her mom was the white dude who did a hell of a job. He did a great job this season. Every one of these characters held their own in every scene. And that's what makes a great show to me, is what does the supporting cast do? Like, how great are they? In every scene, even if it was just for a couple seconds, that supporting that cast member stole the show. Like, we saw Lil Jon. We found out about his mother. His mother, was strung out, and she chose a man over him. And then, of course, the adopted grandma of his, or you would just call it grandma, who took him in. Excuse me. She figured it out. Now, the girl from last season, the beautiful civil rights lady whose brother was unalived, who they figured out who did it, who unalived her brother. Her and Lil Jon got a relationship. And, Lil Jon was pissed off, but she stayed there with him. And she said, I'm not going nowhere. I love you and I want to be there for you. I don't care. You're not pushing me away. And that's what he needed. Lil Jon needed somebody like that. I hope their relationship continues to grow, to blossom. This is what I talk about. And this is my issue with the Country Wayne series. You done turned it into a soap opera where everybody done sleep with each other. I wanted to see Anthony and Amber grow together. I felt like that was a relationship that could have been the main staple relationship, and they do what they do, but no, they had to turn it into Wayne sleeping with the girl and all of this craziness. And every time I go back, their relationship done got worse. And then you got people in the chat who just stupid because all they know is BS, because they go through the BS. It's like, you don't have to have somebody cheat in a relationship. The relationship can have its downs, but not necessarily about somebody smashing somebody else. This is the stuff I want to see from blacks. I'm tired of all these ratchet ass scripts where it's like, oh, she done smashed this and that, or he done cheated, he got this, and she done cheated. Bro, it's more to life than that. There's some relationships where they go through it. I want to see next season if she's going through it or he, and they build each other up. I don't want to see they're together and then all of a sudden he do something else. Now, when Aldous Hodges' character, slept with the white girl and everything, they had a relationship. It made sense. Y'all can't be talking about, I'm going to cancel the show. Why? I knew he was going to end up back with the black chick. The black chick was the one tripping. She was the one tripping. He knew he wanted to be there. She didn't want to be there. And that's a real life situation. And he smashed the girl. She just so happened to be white. They came up together. So it made sense for him to have relations with her. Now, shout out to Lil Jon for keeping that chick, that woman, excuse me, I ain't gonna call her that chick, that's disrespecting her, but that woman from the first season. And of course, grandma, Nan or mom, I forgot what they call, I think they call her Nan. She Nana, I think they call her Nana. So for her to do what she did, I mean, yeah, she was wrong, but at the same time, she made it up, and he couldn't stay mad at her. He loves her. And he realizes why she did it, because she needed to do it. His mother was a piece of shit. The character, not the lady. She did a great job portraying his mother. Now, how the case was being solved, I love it. It's classic Alex Cross. And if you read some of the books, I haven't read it. I just went to summaries or excerpts of it just to catch up on like what the story was about. And you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. I love how they tackle, you know, the religion. I love the religion. I love when the woman who is seeking revenge, you know, for the unaliving of her family, countless Hispanics or Mexicans, you know, it's the same thing, but Mexicans, you know, and it was bad. And of course, Cross adopted a kid who was on the transport, truck or van, whatever you want to call it. And, you know, they figured I was a dirty cop, which you could tell because of how he was acting. Excuse me. The FBI, of course, trying to show that they meet bigger than the hairs and, you know, stick measuring contest. Classic type of show. This season, last season, I think I gave it 4 out of 4. Look, I ain't gonna hold you. This season gets a 4 out of 4. This was a great season because you got to learn about the supporting cast. You got to learn about John, Lil John. You got to understand what he went through. You got to get his backstory, which I loved. You got to see Luce. That was her name, Luce. You got to see Luce. You got to see where she come from, her culture, what burden she had to carry. Like the weight of the whole innocence that passed away, that wasn't uncovered until later. You know, Cross at the end turning in his badge. That's why I gave it a 4 out of 4, because of that. I knew he was going to quit the police force. I thought he was going to do it last season, but then this season, I definitely knew he was going to do it because he's too good for that job. It, like the woman who he was with, his ex, but, you know, he of course, when he was on the run, he went by her house to get some stuff, the bag and all that. And she told him, she said, you're too good of a person. You got too big of a heart to be in the system. And it's the truth. And I'm glad he left because now he can actually do more stuff. He's not bounded by the government or he's not bounded by the mayor or the chief of police. He's not bound by the city. He can actually be what he wants to be, which is somebody who wants to change something. And that's what I loved about it. We need more stuff like this with lead black actors or a black cast. Yeah, you got a couple of your white people and your Hispanics. It's a diverse, show. And that's what I love. I love a great diverse show. Now, you might have MAGA people who hate on it because, you know, lead black guy, handsome man, great build. They're going to hate that. They're going to hate that. So, you know, excuse me. Like, I love that. I love that about it. I give it 4 because at the end, he just quit. And, of course, Lil Jon was going to go after him. He didn't. They had a bird later. You know, so we're gonna see what he does. He's gonna have to look for another job because he got kids. So he's probably gonna be a PI. He's gonna open up his own stuff. You know, that's what we're gonna get from it. He's gonna open up his own thing, and then boom, they're gonna go from there. I didn't get to check the ratings. I hope the ratings are great so we can get another season. I think you can get at least about 5 to 7 seasons out of this show, possibly 8. The pacing is on point. I love the way he interacted with the chief this season and the aide, the captain. You know, I loved it. So, you know, that's how I look at it. You know, solid show. You know, we'll see what more come out of it. You know, we'll see what more come out of it. But shout out to Aldis Hodge for portraying Alex Cross. Shout out to his partner next to him, Lil Jon. Shout out to the beautiful black sister who made sure Lil Jon kept on the straight and narrow, kept his head right. You know. And I love the kids this season, how the daughter interacted with the adopted kid, and then she spoke his language, which was dope. Like, we all gotta get a bilingual. We need to learn trilingual. We need more than three languages so we know what the hell going on out here, you know?